Hello.
Hey John, how's it going?
All right, you.
Well, thank you.
And you said sorry. That was the first time I could identify that you're Canadian.
That's me. I had that sweet, sweet Canadian long weekend this weekend too. So you know what? I'm good with the call out. Had yesterday off. It was lovely. Okay, we are working on week 3 here. I will give some folks some time to jump in still. In the meantime, let's get some scores and stages going. Um, Hit me with it. What do you folks at? What are you doing?
I'm at 187 launch.
187. Awesome. Thank you, Tracy.
Mine went down to 138 launch.
Okay. That'll be some utilization things, I would think. What about you, John? What are you doing?
We're at 155. I don't remember what we were at, so hopefully we went up.
It's calculating yours. Oh yeah, you're up 6.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And we're still in launch, but I also see that we have one required feature remaining in launch, so I'll have to look into that.
Nice. I wonder why. Just bear with me. Okay, we got Sheila, we got Tracy, we got John, which means Jordan's is going to be the same as John's. And Matt's is going to be the same. Hey, you folks are up 6, which is great. Um, Colleen, what you working with?
We are at 157.
7, still in launch.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Man, I'm going through it. I don't know what is happening to my eyeballs today, but it's not good. Um, I was very close to the screen. So sorry for that close up, folks. Um, okay. We're on week 3, which yay for us, halfway there. We're looking at some ups and downs, it looks like points wise, but we're moving. So that is good news. We are going to do 6 features today, which is many features. But before we get into that, does anyone have any questions from last week or just general service Titan things that they're like, hey, maybe that chaotic girl can get the wheels moving on that or anything that I can help you folks with before we get into things? I'll help you during too, promise.
Yeah, one question. So John did a good job. We were able to go through and clean up some of the campaigns that are not being used and consolidate a little bit. We reached a point where we have a fair amount that are still we think we want to keep tracking, but they don't have tracking phone numbers, so it's going to always hurt our score. Is
Mhm.
it worthwhile to just dump phone numbers in there for the completionist inside me who wants to move that rocket, or just leave it alone?
Firstly, I love the competition. I like that. Um, is it worth because it you have numbers associated, right? And it's are you going to change the numbers to reflect
No,
track?
not all campaigns have phone numbers. Is that correct, John?
Yes. So so we get 2 points because we had 0 points because we were below 25%. Now we're at 36%. and so we have 2 points. If we get over 50%, we get all 5 points. But a lot of the campaigns we have are like, well, let me just not guess. Let me just look it up real quick. We have like business referral, which it would be just somebody calling in, and it's not a specific number. It's just, hey, yeah, this other business told me to use you guys. So they're calling our main number. There wouldn't be an actual number associated with it. But we can game the system by just adding a phone number that would never be used.
Where can we use the main number as for that?
You can only use the main number once.
Yeah, so using the tracking numbers, yeah, it's gaming it, I guess. But I'm just trying to think of like if there'd be any blowback or like any fallout from doing it that way. Which I don't think there would be. Yeah, the only thing is that when folks call in, you would still like it would be a manual. It wouldn't link direct, right? Because it's not going to come through on that tracking number. So it wouldn't, like your CSR dispatcher, whoever's fielding that call, they would have to put in business referral.
Right. That's what they're doing currently.
They already do. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's fine. I'll ask the bigger brains of Service Titan than Meek just to confirm. I'm going to go with a 99%. That's totally fine. And that last percentage, if you don't hear back from me in the next 3 business days, consider it 100% go. Okay, awesome. Anybody else? Questions? Nothing? Sweet. Okay, cool. We're doing 6 features today, which is quite a few. So, what are we covering today? We are going through custom fields to your specific workflows, improve tech efficiency by going paperless, simplify your payroll with tech timesheets, accurately track meal breaks. This is my favorite one because it calls people out by name, and I think that's very funny. Upload photos and videos to jobs in mobile, and we'll probably do a side quest to photo capture because I think that it's underutilized but very awesome. And then lastly, we will do enhance customer experience with mobile forms. Sound good? We haven't done these features yet. I'm not living in a weird Groundhog Day where only I'm aware of it. Perfect. Okay, cool. So I'm going to pop into our account here and we can get rolling. I had too many tabs open on my computer and therefore my brain is not how I best operate. Okay, let's do the thing. Let's do the damn thing. So, rocket ship icon in the top right hand of your screen. We're going to pop into Titan Advisor and we want to be doing customized fields to your specific workflows. How do we get there? We're under business sections, job booking and dispatching. And then we're going to bop over into optimization. So that 3rd tab there. Job booking and dispatching in optimization is one of the larger lists of things. So I typically just do a little searchy search and I put in workflows just because the order this list will look a little bit different for all of you depending on what your business goals are. So customize fields to your specific workflows. I'm going to click in it. It says that it's a quick win. You folks can be the judge of that. What is everyone doing in terms of setup pieces? Do we have completes in here? And what are we doing for points, if anything? Hit me with it.
Complete and 1 of 1 points.
Nice.
We're complete with the 1 point. Then it also says current 10. So I mean, I have 10 current. I've only got 1 point, but I'm guessing I have 10 custom fields.
So 10, that means that 10. So number of times a custom field has been used in the last 7 days, 10 times it's been used in the last 7 days, which is awesome. Sheila, how about you folks?
I have none.
Okay.
Incomplete.
We'll work through it. Okay, awesome. Actually, this is great because one, custom fields are one of those ones that you do kind of pop into relatively often. And we can also talk about what some folks are using that other folks aren't and why and etc. So this feature inside of Titan Advisor, it's talking about customized fields for your specific workflows. What it's mostly talking about is like on our CSR dispatcher, like on our actual call screen, what custom fields do we have? And then it's also talking about in mobile. But custom fields can reach all over Service Titan. So you can add custom fields for most records in Service Titan, use them for workflows that are specific to your business. Whatever Matt, John, and co use is going to look different than what Sheila uses, right? So what are we setting up? The first thing we want to set up are the custom fields themselves. So the setup criteria for this is one active custom field. You're likely going to have many more than that. To get to that, we go into settings and then create custom fields. We'll do that together. Then we have how to use. So this is your utilization points. This is the one that can go up and down. You can fill out custom fields by editing the records they appear on. So like I said, different screens, different workflows, you can have custom fields available in different spots. And what it's measuring is, like John and I were just talking about, it is the number of times a custom field has been used in the last 7 days. So if it's any more than one, you're getting that point. In their circumstance, they used it 10 times in the last 7 days. So we love to see that. Okay, so I'm going to classic dupe my tab here and I'm going to pop into settings. When you are in your general settings and you look on custom fields, there are some pro products that have, I don't know why I did air quotes. It's not an air quotes thing. That is factual. It's pro products that have it. But there are some pro products that have custom fields as well. We'll skip through that. It's actually in this operations tab, custom fields. I'll get you folks to click on that. There's a lot going on in this demo account. One of the guys I work with, anytime he hears someone that has a cool custom field, he adds it. So he has like 40 or 50 custom fields in his account. It makes my skin crawl, my throat itch. But there is some kind of cool stuff that you can do with these. So I'm going to go into just this first one, third-party CSR name. That's this example, where it appears. Obviously, these are all the different places that we can put it. But the one that's really interesting for a lot of folks is if you click on that job record one and then display on call booking screen. That is customizing what you see when someone is fielding a call. You can also make it a required field. Then, of course, there's a ton of other ones too, right? So purchase order, display on print view. There's other ones that kind of jump down here, but this is the one that folks utilize the most. The other thing is that when we set up our job types, which I think we talked a little bit about job types last week, but when we're setting up job types, we can add custom fields or kind of attach custom fields to specific job types. You can do that when you're setting up the job type themselves, or on this side, say you create a new custom field, you can scroll down to the bottom here and add it to specific job types. It kind of works back and forth. And then it says here, if this field is left blank, then the custom field will appear for every job type. I'm going to hit cancel so that we can back out here. Another thing to note is that there are different types of custom fields. You have text, you have drop down, and you have numeric. Did I make that up? I don't think I made that up. Nice. Look at me go. Text, drop down, numeric. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. That's crazy. So there are different options for creating these custom fields. For the sake of you folks not having to listen to my voice anymore, what are some custom fields that people are using that you like, that you think are great, that you couldn't live without?
We have age of equipment and referred by as required fields.
Nice.
I have a ton. I live in this area. So we did the referred by. I also have another one for referred by email. And then I have a whole bunch of other automation stuff I do. I won't bore you with that. But I also do for the job records ones. I have three independent ones. One for the review, one for the review star count, and then for the review date, so that we can track our Google reviews.
Nice. Do bore us with the automation. What are you doing there? That sounds interesting.
So we have an in-house referral program that we're using, and I will use the referred by lead source and the referred by, and I've generated a report in Service Titan that will show me all of the people who in our referral campaigns. It'll show me all of the people who have been referred, and then because we have to do the payouts to them, so then I can see what that name is and stuff. But then we only send out referrals when they've hit certain thresholds. So then I had to have another report that shows me the lifetime value of that customer, but I have to have it also show what the person is that I have to give the referral reward to. So I actually have two reports that I have to run in tandem to get all this information. But I'll do like a whole bunch of Zapier stuff to get information in and out and things like that too. So
Very cool. I wonder if so is that because you have to run the two separate reports because it runs off of two separate data sets, right?
correct, yes.
Um, do you folks have joins yet in your reports?
Is that one of the newer things that rolled out like in the last 2 months?
My demo account doesn't have it, but some folks have it in the wild.
I was interested in it. I thought it was just it was working right out of the box. I don't know if there's any setup to combine these things.
So if you have it, and for anyone who's like, what are those two people talking about? So once upon a time, everyone had to do what John is doing, where if you wanted information off of a certain data set, you run one report. If you want more information that feels really related, but is not in the same data set, you run another report. And then it was up to you folks to like put that information together. Womp womp. So recently, Service Titan came out with the concept of like template joins. And what I'll do is I know that one of the gals on my team has it. So I will hop into her account. It is worth, especially if you do a lot of report stuff, it is worth reaching out to your CSM about if you don't yet have it on your account. So bear with me here.
What is it called again? I missed that.
It's called template joins, reporting template joins. I'm gonna share my screen. I'm just in her account that's not working right now. That sucks. You know what I can do instead? Her account needs to be reset, so we can't actually see it. But what would happen, and I will do this, is when you are in reports, so you know how you have that reports tab, if you click create report in the top right of your screen, you're able to go through the different templates of reports. You would select a template, and then there will be a fancy little join templates button. And what it is asking is, okay, cool. So of these two data sets, do you want all of this stuff to come together? Some data sets cannot be joined. And the reason for that is because they don't share an overlapping identifier of information. So let's say we had one data set that had job info, but didn't have any client things, and we wanted to connect it with a client thing. It doesn't know how to kind of like put that information together. So it has to have a key that lines up. But there are a ton that can be joined. So you decide which two templates you want to join with this fun little button here that I don't have and some of you might. And then you're able to, have like a multi-template report that has all this info in it. So John and Co, if you folks go into your reports, select a template, if you do have this feature already, you should have the the join templates button. And if you don't, it is worth reaching out to your CSM about, in your girl's humble opinion. Oh, wait, here. This feature is currently in early access and subject to change. If you're interested, fill out this form. 1 second. Pop that in. It's worth it. It's a good one.
Can you send the link to that?
I just put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Of course. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we side quested pretty hard there, but does anybody have any it's one of those features that like people don't really know about, but it can be so excellent. So I like to mention it if I can. Does anyone have any questions? Is everyone putting their name on that form?
Yes.
Nice.
Doing it right now.
Great. Excellent. Sheila, how about you? You put
Yeah, I'm working on it right this second.
Awesome. Tracy, Colleen, you folks too? Or Tracy and Colleen are like, look, reports lady, you gotta cool.
Yeah, working on it.
Love that for all of us. Perfect. Okay, cool. Colleen, you came off mute. You're thinking about it?
Yeah, we're all set.
Sweet. Okay, so back to the feature at hand, which was move this out of my way. We're talking about workflows. See, this is why. There we go. So we know how to customize workflows. And we know how to add custom fields. We go into our settings, etc. And then how are we getting our points? It's the number of times a custom field. So that's any custom field from any kind of place that you put it is used in the last 7 days. So that is our first feature. The next one that we're going to talk about is improve tech efficiency by going paperless. And end of the day, what this is mobile. It's all talking about mobile. So under business sections, we're going to say selling and performing work. It is going to be in launch, and it is improve technician efficiency by going paperless. Fun thing about this is there is no setup pieces. It's all about the utilization. And we do have this lovely, blurb, all of these things. But basically what it's saying is pen and paper, womp womp, getting our techs on mobile makes it so that they have greater access, improved transparency, easier workflows, all of that great stuff. What are we looking at in terms of points for everyone? So, or percentages is fine too, whatever you want.
Mine says 100%. So I guess I'm good on this one.
Nice. So that means 100 of your managed text, and it does have to be managed text, took an action in Service Titan Mobile over the last 7 days. This is another one of those scores that can be a little volatile based on company shutdowns, holidays, that sort of thing. But Sheila's at 100. Love to see it.
2 out of 5.
2 of 5. Okay, so
76.92%.
76, so close. Okay, so that means that there's a couple of your techs then that are not using mobile or haven't in the last 7 days.
We still have a tech on there that hasn't worked for us in 3 months. I'm sure that is killing us.
Definitely is. If they haven't, you're paying for them.
Yes. I am aware of this.
Matt's like, I'm off mute, but I'm just grimacing.
Yeah, we had a discussion about it as a leadership team, and I'm not sure about our answer. So I'll bring it back up and circle back because I don't like wasting money.
Yeah, dollars and cents, y'all. I mean, you can deactivate him and then reactivate if you need to. That's not out of the realm of things. Depending, my recommendation, and this is for everyone if you're deactivating a tech, is first run a report or even filter out to see what jobs they're assigned to, because if anything is still open, you're going to want to reassign that to someone who is actively working with the company, just so those jobs aren't lost. Nothing is lost. It just makes them a lot harder to find. And if it is, say it's like your lead tech, right? Their name's all over everything, you can reach out to support and just be like, hey, because sometimes it does require a data task if it's really far reaching. That doesn't happen very often, but just in case.
So we have a technician that we're using right now who's not doesn't actually work for us. So we have an overflow of work that we is outside of the scope of what we typically do. We're pretty niche in what we do. So we have a referral partner that we share a lot of work with, and that work of being scheduled and tracked. And Jordan could speak more about how this was set up, but essentially that person we're paying for their account, but they're not inside our software at all. So they're never going to use the mobile app. Is there a better way to be doing that?
So they're like a subcontractor?
I wish. No, it's much more complicated than that. If that would be simple and easy, I would take that. No, this is another company, and we have a pretty complicated. So we focus mostly on water treatment. So a lot of the plumbing work that comes in through our business, we refer it out, and that work, they in exchange for those leads, they bring us water test results, and this has given us a way to track when we were tracking it in a spreadsheet, and then we switched to this system where we can see them on the schedule. And again, Jordan would know a little bit more. I know he was involved in the initial setup of this. And if there's a better way, and if I can avoid paying for an extra technician account for no reason, I would love to do so.
I'm computing. You don't do the invoicing?
So
Nope,
basically,
no invoicing.
sorry. So basically, what we do is it's almost we're just using it as a tracker. So if the customer calls and they need plumbing, we go through a script about referring it out, and then we reach out to our referral partner and give them the customer's information. Then he confirms with us when he's going out, and we put that on our schedule. We turn notifications off so that the customer's not getting because we still have to dispatch and do all that to complete the job, but it's a $0 job. But it's really just for tracking.
But it also makes our reporting a little bit trickier. We have to then pull that out manually when I run reports because now our job data looks off, our cost per job looks off, everything gets thrown off by that number. So it's not the end of the world, and this has given us a cleaner way to track it. At least I can see it in the schedule. That helps a little bit. But if there's a better or a different better mousetrap, I would love to hear about it.
Without getting too lost in the detail sauce, my first thing would be, well, if they're $0 jobs and that you would just do it as a non-managed tech, and then you don't have to pay. And then it also, not that I'm saying we shouldn't pay Service Titan, they pay the mortgage. Okay. But yeah, and then
He wouldn't be able to be, you have to have a lead tech on a job. You have to have a managed tech. No.
but not if it's $0.
Oh, okay.
So
Is that our solution, Jordan?
Yeah, that's down. I didn't even know that. So I could try that. I thought they all had to be managed.
So whoa. I sent the knowledge base article. Like I said, I don't know all the nuances of like why that is set up the way that it is, and I don't want to be like, this is the solution. But I sent the knowledge base article. It sounds like the solution to me, but that'll be worth you folks kind of looking into a little bit. Yeah, because if you're not doing the estimates for it, you're not like it really feels like it could be a non-managed tech thing. So I include the help article that has all of the kind of bits and bobs.
All right, thank you.
Sweet. Side quest. Okay, perfect. So we have Sheila, you folks were at 100%. Colleen, Tracy, what were you at for your managed tech?
100.
Nice. Colleen's killing
Mine
it.
says 87.5. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, all good. 87.5. That's that 5 points. Do you know where your 12.5% is? Do you have a tech that was maybe on vacation or doesn't use mobile or?
We just hired somebody. Could that be it?
Absolutely, yeah.
So he hasn't been assigned anything yet.
That'll be why. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we won't go into mobile yet because we'll bop into it when we do some mobile tracking stuff. So cool. Everyone's using it for the most part, and if not, we got some legwork to be done. So that is all good. Alrighty, next one is simplify your payroll with tech timesheets. This is a great feature because most of the setup you folks don't have to do. So what I'm going to get you to do is go into payroll and admin, and then it should be in launch. Again, the order of this list will look a little different depending on what your business goals are and how you have your TAD set up, but we are looking for simplify your payroll with tech timesheets. Is everyone using timesheets through Service Titan?
No.
Not
No.
every- Is that by design? Is that something you're working towards? What's the situation for everyone?
I don't know the reasoning since newer to it, but I know there was a purpose behind it.
Okay, so by design. Okay, well,
Yep.
we'll exposure therapy you on it, Colleen, and maybe you'll convert them to the Service Titan timesheet side.
Perfect.
We use a third-party HR app, and when I brought this up to our CFO, she was not all excited about not using that app. We had used when we were on House Call Pro, we had used ADT or ADP, and we stopped. We switched over. We're now on Bamboo, and we manage all of our stuff through there. And I don't know if we just don't understand what Service Titan is capable of. But again, I do not like spending money for software stacks that we don't need. So you got my attention.
Okay, stunning. We'll talk about it then. Sheila, do you folks use timesheets through Service Titan?
We are in the middle of doing setting up flexible timekeeping. Do you know about that? I don't do that part of it, so I'm scared to even I'm scared to even mess with any of this right now because we're
Yes, I would not recommend editing anything. Flexible timekeeping, if I'm being so for real with you, is outside of my wheelhouse. Like I know the basics, but specific.
yeah, our CSM's helping with it.
Yeah,
I do
she's a big
that.
one. She's a big one. Yeah, if you have any issues or any questions, I can, tell you what I know / look into things or get folks, on our side.
Apparently, you have to have this flexible timekeeping to use the new Field mobile app, which is going to be for everyone soon. So, yeah, just that's what I was told.
Sheila's giving me homework, is what I'm learning.
That's your homework for
I
the
have homework. I need to become a flex timekeeping expert. I can do that. I can do that. Everyone needs a goal. Okay. Tech timesheets. So we know there's a million different softwares that can do it. Some folks are still on pen and paper. I always talk about, remember when you had the card and you would click the card and it would go and you'd be like, there's another $7 in my bank account. There's a lot of different ways that we can get this thing done. But why do we want to do it through Service Titan? One, to reduce redundancy. We one software to rule them all. Other affected KPIs can include our labor costs, our billable efficiency, hours paid, and OT and drive time hours. There's also some sign-off features and some kind of different pieces of helping get payroll processed that's really great through here. There are several setup pieces, and this is one of those things that you do in conjunction with your CSM because there are things that you can that they can figure on your behalf. But again, because they're that big picture next step thinker, they're going to help you through this. First thing is enable tech time clocks. So that's saying we want them to be able to clock in and out in the field. We have our little video here, right? We have our clock in, clock out. That's what that's talking about there. This is something that your CSM enables on your behalf is the tech time clock. Okay, so that makes it so we can clock in and out. Great. Next is enable payroll history persistence for techs. This is another CSM enabled feature. It helps with reporting and different payroll things. Then we have enable payroll sign off. This one is nice because, again, it helps with our payroll reconciliation. It is another one that is CSM configured. And finally, we have a little honor system based fourth step, and that is set technicians' pay settings. You can control pay settings for techs for their hourly pay, their overtime, first drive, bonus, lots of different things. And we do that right inside of their tech profiles. So we can look at that together. But in order to get that as completed, she's based on honor, y'all. It's a little check mark there. So with that being said, if this is something that you folks choose to move forward with, make sure that you do come back and check that little guy off, because that is what's going to make sure that you're actually getting the points, because you have all of your setup completed. So click duplicate. We're going to hop right into some tech settings. I am gear icon in the top right hand of my screen. I'm going to search for technicians under people. Click on that. I'm going to edit Aaron Test Tech because I always do. And it is in our payroll tab. So we have a bunch of different pieces of our payroll to get set up. We have general pay details. So are we paying performance, timesheet? Is there a payroll ID? Our hourly pay, so our hourly rate, if you have any overtime stuff that you're doing, commute time, lots of things to set up. Then all of your performance pay pieces. Can be different tech per tech, right? Depending on what they're contracted out with. You're also, and this is like new-ish, is this range bonus. So, we're not paying people too much money to do their jobs, or too much extra money, I suppose. And then custom payroll. So these are any additional fields. This is also because this isn't a payroll software, but if you're looking to get things matched up, right? So that is where all of these things happen. So gear icon, you search for technicians, you go into your tech, and then it's going to be in the payroll tab. Now, that is all of our setup pieces. 3 of them are CSM. The last one we just went through. And then we get points 2 different ways for this. Number 1 is by techs just using it. So it is measuring the percentage of techs with an hourly rate of at least 5 unique days in the last 14 days. Again, shutdowns, holidays, that sort of stuff will affect this, but it is over 14 days. So it's a kind of longer time period. If it is over 50%, you're getting a single point. If it's over 80, you're going to be getting 2. The next piece, and this, in my opinion, is an easy one to get set up, is your master pay file reports. So the master pay file template is used in a ton of reports. It's the basis of a bunch of things. So it is likely that, you might already have reports that are run off of this template. If for whatever reason you don't, what this is measuring is the number of times a report based on that template is run or scheduled in the past 30 days. Now, you might not be manually running these reports all the time, but scheduling a report out, and as long as it's 2 times in the last 30 days, in the past 30 days, then you're going to be getting those 2 points. Does anyone have points that they're not actually earning yet because their setup isn't completed, but does anyone have points yet because they have used this?
I do, but I don't know how I use it. Sorry.
It's this no, all good. It's this master pay file template. It has so much info in it that so many reports
It
pull
says
up.
I have 6.86 points. Or yeah.
Look at you. Yeah, it's literally, this is like the beating heart of so many things. It's crazy. Anybody else got some points in here already?
We do have some points.
Nice. Once the setup piece is also completed, then you'll be getting the points for real. But like I said, that master pay file report, it's got a bunch of stuff in there. Okay, any questions before we move on to the next? I will send in my follow-up email. Obviously, like, I usually do, this is where you find this, whatever, but because a lot of this is CSM enabled, they would be your first stop in getting rolling with this. Any questions? Anyone just absolutely pumped on tech timesheets? It's the way of the future. Alrighty. Next section, or next feature, sorry, is accurately track meal breaks. Now, this has to do with some of our clock in, clock out stuff. I love this feature because it calls people out by name. And I always say that Service Titan is a snitch. But wow, does it ever live up to that in this feature? So we are in Titan Advisor under business sections, payroll and admin under launch, and it's going to be this accurately track meal breaks. Now, the setup is a fairly low lift. It's going into settings, people, tech, so right where we were, and then in their permissions tab, you need to have the meal break permission enabled. Depending on where you live, so in Ontario, where I live, there is a huge, like, our health and safety, whatever people, they're hardcore about meal breaks. You need to be able to prove that you are providing meal breaks, that the meal breaks are paid, unpaid, whatever it may be. The compliance and the local labor laws, the regulations, all of that stuff. This really helps to manage that. So depending on what your local regulations are, very, very helpful. The other thing is that, again, I'm in this demo account, so it's a little bit different, but once this is set up, it will literally like call people out by name in this area here, saying who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like, it will call out tech names saying they're not clocking in and out for their meal breaks, which when you're looking for stuff for compliance with regulations is important. How to use, they just got to clock in and out for their meal breaks. It shows up as an event in their payroll. And what are we measuring? So percentage of techs and office employees, because it's also for office employees, with an hourly rate who have taken at least 5 meal breaks in the past 14 days. If it's over 50%, you're getting 2. If it's over 80, you're getting 4. We will pop quickly into how to get this set up. I'm still in it here from what we were setting up before, but again, gear icon, search for text in our settings, and then it's in the third tab, permissions. I usually just search because it's kind of long, but it is this allow meal breaks permission. Is anyone using this or has points chilling in here as of yet?
I'm at like 11% because most of my people aren't taking meal breaks apparently, and I'm number 1 on the list.
Sheila, did you say your name? Are you getting a direct call out? A self
Yep,
call out?
that was the first call out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love that. I love that. I always say Service Titan loves to snitch, and wow, does it ever?
I can't help it. I really don't get time to take lunch. Usually I'm just like eating while I'm doing something. So
Well, see, you can take a screenshot, put that on your performance review for dedication. Be like, look,
right.
Titan knows I'm giving her.
A raise.
Absolutely giving her. Okay, accurately track meal breaks. That was our 4th feature. The next one that we're going to talk about here, unless anyone has any questions, sorry.
Well,
I did
I
did a bit with Sheila and then got distracted.
The points pointed out that it affected office and technicians, but it says that office people, they clock out for lunch using the time sheet, but the techs use the mobile app to do it this way. How would it affect the numbers if you're an office employee and you just clock out and then clock back in? Does it just figure that, or is it just not really counting for office employees?
Oh, wait, hit me with that again.
Right. No,
I got lost in the details there.
Yes, I'm a big detail guy. So technicians will do the mealtime, and that makes sense how it would track that. But it says that office employees, because they're not managed techs, they'll just use the clock out function, and then clock back in for lunch. Um, and I don't see the difference between leaving for the day and, oh, I'm just taking lunch. So I don't know how it would know. Okay, give points for John taking lunch. It's like, well, no, he left for the day.
On the office side. I've never had that
It's
question.
probably based on some sort of threshold, like if it exceeds a certain amount of time, or you set up those parameters. So I can fill you in a little bit about why we don't use this. We tried at one point many years ago to have a forced lunchtime, and we learned that in Pennsylvania, where we are located, there are no laws governing this unless you are under 18. We do not have any employees under 18, so we are not required to give it. And when we tried to offer it, our guys pushed back and said we would much rather work straight through it, and this is points we're probably never going to be able to get unless I make a whole bunch of people aggravated. So I'm not sure. I think maybe timesheets I'm interested in, but I don't know that we can ever get to this point because
A meal
until
break.
Pennsylvania changes their laws, we do have internal staff. I believe Jordan's team. They take lunch, but I know even then it's in Pennsylvania. It's pretty that's regulated. That if we're doing it, that person needs to be not available and not have any duties during that time at all. So that's part of that requirement as well.
So workflow wise, doesn't work for you folks. I'm going to. Do they do it manually from the office?
On one of the pages, it pointed out that office staff would just use the clock in, clock out feature.
Well, yeah, but so office staff are able to meal time like from the dispatch board for techs. Like they're able to do that action for them, but I think they have to add their own timesheet activity. Um, so yeah, I'm including some info here and then we can it sounds like you folks maybe aren't going to.
Yeah, we probably won't use it anyway.
Yeah, but
I just
yeah.
wasting time.
Yeah, we'll still enjoy. I want to know. I want to know all the things. Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry.
I was just gonna ask, is there any way to set it up to just automatically take 30 minutes off of everyone's time every day?
For their lunch. Like
Because
an auto.
we don't use this feature at all. We don't even have it set up, and we just assume people are taking lunch. But I think my boss is the one who does payroll, and I think he just like takes 2.5 hours off of their hourly at the end of every week for their lunch. But if they could, I don't know. I was just thinking if it could be automatic, it'd be easier.
Payroll sign off. Go to employees edit.
It looks like it's something they can select, John, and that thing that Erica shared, it says
Oh, when you clock out, it has the option for
select meal break as timesheet activity. Yep.
Yeah, so that's the manual timesheet, but to do it automatically, I don't think. See, and that's where I think Service Titan does the like, we're not technically a payroll, that's where they get going with that stuff. I did put the office timesheets payroll knowledge base article. I will look. Okay, so basically we're seeing if there's any auto lunch break timesheet capabilities for. Is this for office and tech, Tracy?
Yeah, and we're in Missouri, and we have to give people, if they work 6 or more hours, they have to have a 30-minute lunch break, and if they work, I think it's 9 hours or more, maybe 10, they have to have another 15 minutes off.
I think it's that they have to do like start and end their lunch breaks because that's also an acknowledgement that they're doing it, right? And then when it's time for reporting, you can say like, no, look, you did this. And then if they don't, then that's a manual timesheet entry. But again, they would have to tell you. Yeah, it's protections again for you, but also I'll ask about the auto lunch break. I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I will ask. / look into it in general.
Yeah, because I mean, the owner here just is like taking 2.5 hours off every week for everyone's pay for their hours for lunches.
Yeah. I guess the thing is that what if someone comes back and says, I don't actually do that, and you don't?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that it is that folks need to do it themselves, because then that's also confirmation that they're doing it, right? That's them saying, oh yeah, I'm going on break. I'll look into it.
Thank you.
Walk-in service. Yeah, on the office side especially. Okay. Awesome. So that is our fourth feature. Let's talk about upload photos and videos to jobs in mobile, and we're going to side quest into photo capture because, like I said, I think that it is underutilized. I'm going to share my screen and keep on keeping on. We are in Titan Advisor under selling and performing work. It should be in launch and upload photos and videos in Service Titan Mobile. Why do we love photos? Well, it's also assurances, right? Hey, this is the before, this is the after, this is how we left this, whatever it may be. I heard one lady once, they were a residential cleaning company, and she rolled into the house and the oven door was smashed. And so she took a photo with timestamp to prove, like, hey, this is when I walked in, this was already like this. The client ended up being super chill anyways, like they didn't think they were being weird, but she had indicated, hey, like it was so nice that I had this, because what if the client hadn't been super chill, right? Also, apparently oven doors, very expensive to fix. Things I know now. So KPIs affected. Why do we want to include these photos? Our customer satisfaction ratings can go up. We can use them for before and afters. Our revenue can increase, and our average ticket value. Again, this is the idea of we don't really buy things if it doesn't have a picture, right? So that is very helpful. There is no setup piece on this because, again, it's done by text through mobile, but there is utilization points. So percent of jobs that have at least one photo or video added by a managed tech in the last 30 days. If it's over 20% of jobs, it's a point. If it's over 35, you're getting 3 points. What are folks getting in terms of points here?
95.31.
Nice. Awesome.
98.44%. 3 points.
Sweet.
We have 98.21%.
Okay. Colleen?
97%.
Okay. You guys said photos. We're doing that. Who knows what photo capture is?
Yeah.
Sheila says yes. Anyone else? Photo capture? Or am I preaching to the choir?
Is that referring to the mobile feature?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, yes, I've used it on the mobile side. That's why I wasn't totally sure if that's what that was called, but yes, I believe so.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. So basically, someone had said to me much time ago that you can take the tech away from the iPad, but you can't separate the tech from the iPhone or something. Basically saying, like, if someone's in an attic, a crawl space, whatever, like we all have our fancy little doodle flunkers real close to us, right? I can pretty much guarantee that you all have it within arm's reach. Our techs are no different. They got it in their back pocket, a little vest pocket, whatever. So if we are getting into situations where we want photos to be taken, but for whatever reason they don't have the iPad on them, what they can be using is photo capture. So this is my fake little account here. This is what mobile would look like. We are in a job, and if you look at our little photo button, right, we could take a photo, upload a video, or upload a photo, or record a video, upload a video. The other thing is this photo capture button. And what it does is when you click on it, it sends a link to the tech And it's really important that your text phone number on their profile is their actual cell phone number, because that's where this is sending. It's not going to ask you, oh, what number do you want it to send to? It just links send, it went. So it's going to send to the text phone number, and it sends them a link that looks like this. And through this link URL that they are sent, then right off of their phone, they're able to take photos. And when they hit add photos, it's going to automatically attach it to that job. So even if they're not using ServiceTitan through their phone, if they're only using it with the iPad, they are able to attach photos this way. Tracy, Colleen, do you folks use this? Have you ever seen this before, photo capture?
No, this is new to me.
Same.
I love photo capture. Sheila and Matt, you folks use it. Well, Sheila, you might not.
I've seen it playing around in the app when I was, because I do some training a little bit, so I like to know what's going on in the mobile app too. So I did see it. I don't know if any of them have actually used it, but I'm gonna bring it up at the next meeting so they know it's there.
Nice.
This is one of the things we got correct early on, because we have a bunch of iPad Pros and the camera doesn't allow you to zoom very well. So it's tough to get perspective pictures. So we were coming back with everybody's taking like chunks of pictures with these iPads, and and one tech found this and was like, just do this. And we one of the few things we got right off the bat.
Awesome. Okay, so you folks like it. That's great. I've never heard people be like, "Oh, we know about photo capture. It sucks." Like people are always like, "Oh yeah, it's sick." Like didn't know it existed, and when we found out it did, it's awesome. Awesome. It also makes that, I mean, you folks are already killing it, but it makes that those points come in real easy too. All righty, so we're on to the final feature with 5 minutes left. Look at me go, a timing queen, truly. We're going to talk about enhanced customer experience with mobile forms. So we are in Titan Advisor. We are going to go into selling and performing work as our business section. In acceleration, so our second tab there, we are going to be looking at enhance the customer experience with mobile forms. This feature is talking about the customer experience specifically, but I always like to mention that mobile forms are helpful across the board, not just for customers, right? Absolutely, we can send these to our customers. They help with our customer satisfaction. They're great, but forms in general are 20 out of 10 no notes. So forms in ServiceTitan Mobile empower your techs to manage their workflows efficiently and deliver top-notch customer experience every time. So it helps with our documentation, all of these things, right? Our what to set up is we want to have at least one published form that is available both to Office, because that's a default, and also to mobile. Sometimes folks will publish a form. Hey, it's not showing up on mobile. What the heck? That is why. We'll look at that quickly. And then how are we getting points on this? It is looking at the percentage of completed jobs with at least one form filled out over the last 30 days. So if it's over 20% of your jobs, you're getting 2 points. And if it's over 60, you're getting 4. What are folks looking at in terms of points?
We have 2 points, 33.21%.
Nice. Okay, cool. Sheila, Tracy, Colleen?
96.4.
Okay, Colleen.
Can you
I have
say,
2 points.
sorry, can you say how to get here again? I got lost.
Oh, that's okay. So we are in Titan Advisor. Business section is selling and performing work. Then we are in the acceleration tab, and we are looking for the feature titled Enhance the Customer Experience with Mobile Forms. Then I monologued, did a bit about why we care about it, and now we are looking at our how to use points.
We're at 99.16.
Okay, so you folks have jobs that you're using these forms on, which is great. So let's actually go into our forms. Can anyone, have I done my job? Let's say you want to create a form or you're looking for a form. Before you create it from scratch, where's the first place you can go and look for one? So you don't have to do it from scratch.
Forms.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are some that live in forms.
Yeah.
Any other place?
Templates?
Titan Exchange and looking at the templates, absolutely. So if you go to your gear icon in the top right, you search Titan Exchange. Forms is one of the library template things, and there are a bunch in here. And remember, sure, we can pull these things, but then we can edit them to make sense of what we're looking for. And then that way you don't have to create a form from scratch. Titan Exchange. Now, if we're actually going into our forms, we'll click on operations and then under forms. We do need it to be published, but I will pull this guy up. In a form itself, yes, it has to be published, but also we would want it on office and tech sites. There is quite a bit of customization that you can do here. So if you look at this form, it's very bare bones, but you're able to add conditional logic. So kind of like cascading questions that can populate. You can, yeah, make it to your BU. You can email it when not filled. That would be kind of weird. But if filled, email to customer automatically upon job completion. So this is what that feature is talking about specifically, right? Emailing these forms to customers, but forms are very far reaching, for sure. So that is forms. Does anyone, especially folks that have like nearly 100%, what forms is it that you folks have that you're using?
We have our partner plan evaluation and then each department's system evaluation as well.
Awesome. And obviously are being utilized quite a bit, which is great. Perfect. What I will do is, because forms, especially, and I feel like John would be all over the conditional logic, crazy edit of form things. But in my recap, I'll include some information on like creating some really holistic forms. And like I said, obviously for this feature, we know we can send these things to customers, but they are helpful all over and internally a lot as well. So that was our final feature, enhance customer experience with mobile forms. We know we can get those emailed off to people as well. We did it, and only a minute over. I'm going to take that as a win.
Can I ask a question?
John.
So we've done a form. I won't get into the conditional logic thing. I do have a crazy one like that. But is there a way to make them prettier? Because right now they only just say like company name at the top, but we would like to like throw a logo on there and other things to make it more customer facing friendly.
Yeah, you can make it so that your the BU logo is available. There's some. What level of pretty are you looking for?
Well, I don't think we've even seen how we could get the logo on there.
Yeah, so when you go right into edit the form itself, so show BU logo on print view. So that's as soon as there's like a preview, you should be able to see it. I think there's also, yeah, you have your different business units that it's available for. And then let me look here.
That old logo, John, might be what's linked to that Gilbertsville business unit. That might be the issue. So we have it does show our name at the top. Our bigger concern was, so we have a water testing form that we use internally, and then we send out a copy of it, and it kind of does it's more comprehensive breakdown. And we were trying to see how to fit this in there, and you would need sort of grouped tables inside of one another, and we were not able to see like to do that. We could sort of pick like one column or two columns. How do you want this report to look? And it comes out very straightforward looking, not nearly as visually appealing and easy to read, I think, as what we would like. But we are now requiring we've focused it down since last week, and we're now requiring those forms on every job. So I think our numbers will start to trend in a better direction here, at least. But if you talk to anybody in service type, we would love to be able to like, if I could take a version of what we have and be able to put it in there in a way that would, because if we consider doing a fillable PDF instead or something like that, but then we don't have any of the ability to track that data in service type in the same way we would want to.
You are able to upload a PDF file directly into the form.
We but then the problem is then I can't run a report on the data inside that PDF. So in other words, if I wanted to run a report of everybody with pH below 6.8, I couldn't run that. And the way we have it set up now, I could go and see all of the pH categories that are in there.
Even inside of once you import the form itself, though, or the file, they're all smart fields, right? So they should.
John, you're the one who told me it couldn't be done. Answer the question.
There was something odd when I was doing. I don't know if it was Blue Collar Nerd or whatever. I was doing some training, and we'll just say it was from him. There was a big hook that he had said, "This is, they look great, but you lose tracking data when even though there were smart forms and stuff, it's not a Service Titan built form, so you lose some of this other capability that you have by using the Service Titan built forms." I could be wrong. He could be wrong.
He's rarely wrong.
But I'm also not sure how we can run reports on the data that's in a form.
Well, if you have smart fields, then obviously the smart fields are.
Wait, a smart field is something that's actually for data that exists on the customer profile, right? Or in a job.
Yeah.
So that might be it, is that they're not smart fields. Now we could make them smart fields, because right now I think pH is just a form field. It's not a smart one. So we don't have data existing on their profile that says, oh, they have pH of this. So that might be what the issue was.
Yeah, so a limitation is that PDF forms with calculations or formulas aren't supported in Service Titan, so it won't calculate totals if the PDF is edited in mobile. Codes or combination, that's fine, that's fine. This is about financing, who cares about that? Smart fields too, blah, 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 blah. It seems strange to me that stream capture, attach to use form submission reports to analyze form data. Well, how are you analyzing it if it's not, right? Form submission, customized, conditional logic tags. Here, I'll include, there's like the jump off. I wonder too if the homepage to all things forms I included in the chat. I realized I was not speaking of full sentences, so that would be hard for you folks to follow. I included that in the chat. The other thing to note is that, so smart fields in PDF forms, part of that would help to automatically populate the forms themselves so that you're not having to manually input details. In terms of once information is filled out, I'm pretty sure that the form fields are like they ladder up into Service Titan, or else how would you what are you doing with that information, right? Um, with that being said, I don't know for sure. So I included it. I included the knowledge base articles, and then I did see a blue collar nerd video about how to build and use custom PDF smart forms. So I'll pop through that and see if, yeah, he has like a fat caveat about.
What's going on, everybody? It's
Thank you, sir. Pulled it up so I don't forget to watch it. Yeah.
We'll play around with it, and then we can kind of circle back next week and say, hey, here's what we did.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
I have a question also about that form, a little different, but so we have it right now where, like they said, they're doing it while they're out on the field, right? Which is awesome. Now, when they fill it out, it goes and it attaches it to that job basically, but we also have it to where it's on the location and the customer, but it doesn't go there. Like it's not showing up on the customer's page what they filled out. Like if you're trying to find what it was, you have to go into that job, scroll down and then view it that way. You can't just go to the customer's page and view the form that the tech filled out.
Form submissions be used to update fields and see. So as far as I know, like you can report on forms and the information of them, but it's not going to inform changes. It's not like, you know, it's not going to update a field based off of the most recent submission. Do you know what I mean? Like, so the fact that it attaches makes sense to me. It's not going to inform any of the fields inside either customer, job, record, whatever records. Um, but they do ladder up into each other. So are you saying that you want it to be?
Yeah, we wanted it basically to where, let's say a customer just calls in and they're like, "Hey, I was wondering about what my water test was, or whatever." That we could go, we're on the customer's page, you scroll down the forms, and we see, okay, that was already filled out. This is what it was. But you can't do it that way. You'd have to find the job that the tech was on, scroll down, and then see the attached form. So it's only attached just to the specific job.
Yeah, so that's a setting. Something's funky in there because you can like here, I'll show you. So let's say whatever I filled this call, I go into this customer. I have forms. I have all the forms that they've filled out.
Yeah, so ours will look exactly like that, but it won't show anything, just like that basically. So you can't view it. There's nothing that you can click there. I'd have to go to the actual job and only
Oh,
view it that way.
Yeah, it looks like yours looks the same as ours. Like you can't click on that and see the result.
go and pop right into it. Hmm. I can edit the form, but I can't
Yeah,
see.
and it's weird because so I was messing around with that. That would be like when I hit edit, it didn't show the what the tech had already put. It was almost like I was gonna now create a new form there.
Yeah, edit it. Huh. So you'd have to go into the job and pull the form itself. I mean, since it's on your account and mine, it looks like that's expected behavior. I don't like it. I don't think that's usable. I wonder if you include it as an attachment. Can you only see the form if it's okay? So that I'll have to look at that as well. So, uh, pieces that I'm going to look into for you folks are the tracking numbers for campaigns in the past. I'm like I said, I'll only say something if there is a glaring issue with that. I don't think that there is. But then also for submitted forms, the access only access via job itself.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was a way like, is it the way that we're maybe doing it on the mobile side? Like, can they click? I
I'm
don't know how it
wondering
works, but can they do it under the customer instead of under the job? If you did that way, and I don't even know if that's what we'd want to do, but I was just trying to figure it out. Like, why is it three different ways, but
that you
they don't
yeah,
match up?
or like can it be as like, do you put it as an attachment maybe? Yeah, I'm not too sure. So I'll look into that. I'll provide feedback on by end of day today.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Eric, I have one last question. If you can't answer in 30 seconds, tell me you'll answer it next week. That's fine. If I have a job booking that shows like our booking number shows a -1, what does that mean? We've noticed that last week popping up. Like the little red bubbles will pop up next to it. Like if we have 2 form submissions, and then all of a sudden it will just show -1. I screenshot it and sent it to John. I'm like, this looks new, and what does it mean?
Like on your actual call screen, it's
Like
rather
on the bookings page, where if you go to click like under bookings, and then it'll say like, right now I have a red 1 next to calls, a red 1 next to chat. Sometimes I'll have booking if there's form submissions that came in. It showed -1. How do we have negative bookings? Is that like we did something wrong? We lost a booking? We didn't book? What? All right, you can't answer in 30 seconds. Well, I'll bring it back next week, and then we can answer that question. Then I didn't want to hold everybody up. I just thought maybe it was like, oh, it means this. But
yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll look into that too. It's on the list. Pieces. Yeah. Okay. I'll look into that.
Okay.
You guys are homework, and Sheila's getting me on flexible timekeeping. I get it,
Yeah.
guys. I
You
get
got
it.
a lot to do. You better
I got a
go.
lot to do. Flexible timekeeping is going to take longer than this other stuff, though. So please don't ask me to be an expert by next week, because you're setting me up to fail. It's not going to happen. Okay. I have some follow-up items. I will send you folks the follow-up email that just has like where to find these things and some resources. We'll get it sorted. I will see you next week. If anyone has any questions in the meantime, or if in my follow-up email there was something I said, hey, I'll look into that, and I didn't, feel free to call me out. You absolutely should. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
thanks. Have a great week.